Chris from Mixdown Online. I'm here with James from Universal Audio. James, how are you?
Good, great. Losing a little bit of my voice, but I got some left for you.
That's okay. Now, James, tell me about the new product you guys have.
So what we got is aux, the amp top box. And what we're doing with that is allowing you to get, at least, as a guitarist, all of the tone out of a great tube amp at any volume, anywhere you want. And so I think a lot of the challenges for having these great tube amps is they're hard to sort of sound great, and depending if you're in a small room, a garage, a studio, a club, a lot of these fantastic, I love these amps, they have a certain sweet zone. And no singer wants to hear you say, well, my amp sounds great at 10, because you just kill them. Exactly. But so this box sits between your amp, so you get the speaker output of your amp, you go into here, and then you go in your cabinet. So that's one part of it. So our box is what we consider a reactive load. So in that case, the design we came up with really looks like a speaker to the amp. So the amp always thinks it's hitting a speaker, and it's shifting in impedance, because a speaker isn't just a static sort of impedance. Like we always say, well, is your cab 8 ohms or 16 ohms? When you hit it with an amp, it moves all over the place. And the longer you hit that cabinet, it shifts more. So we made the amp think it's saying a speaker still, and then we pick up that signal, again, let you hear it back to the cabinet, but then the important part of this is you can shut the cabinet completely off. And that's where we did dynamic speaker and room modeling. So we can take you into the studio and give you a collection of great cabinets and mics and let you play with the amp any volume you want, like you're in a control room and the live room is just rattling off the walls. And to do that, we're not using any of the conventional terms like convolution or IR kind of stuff. We actually had to physically model the speakers. And physically model and measure the rooms when the cabinet's coming off the drum set and bouncing off the glass of the control room. We actually modeled all of that. So when you give it a chord with the Marshall antenna, you hit it hard, you actually feel the air moving through the room. And that's one of the most important things for me as a guitar player is when you get these amps in a room, you can turn them up, you also hear your environment and that little bit of air and that width that comes from like the back of the cabinet bouncing off the wall. It's all the things that when you put headphones on or work in a smaller recording space, it's kind of a bummer, especially when you're playing it. It's one thing when you're mixing, but it's the immediate feedback when you're playing that this will put back into the amp and in your mixes. So what we're doing is processing kind of 3 things at once. So again, you got the raw amp in the cab, you've got this other feed that you can send to Pro Tools, a PA, whatever, and then you've got a real easy headphone out.
That's amazing. So what is the street price?
We're looking at about $12.99 and hoping to get it out around this winter.
Wow, awesome. Thanks a lot, James.
My pleasure.
All right, see you next time.
Awesome, thank you.